In this lesson, we'll review a problem from the critical reading section. This is from a passage that begins on page 392, and we're going to look at question 11. So in the italics at the beginning of this long passage, we see it's from a memoir, so we know this is a non-fiction passage. And this is what I call a classic inference question, where in this case the message is best characterized. You see a lot of questions on the reading. What is the tone of the narrator? What is the attitude? Or how is this message characterized? And this is how vocab gets tested in the passages as well as the sentence completions. It's never going to be the same language that you see in the passage. And one piece of advice for these questions, obviously vocab is important, but stay away from extreme choices, and you also want to be able to try to predict the answer. So here, this is line 4. I've written beginning on line 4. I like to read a little bit above it. So this is the beginning of the passage. At the very top, we have a proverb, which is sort of a cliche. And then it goes on, so line 4, but all cliches derive their endurance from the truth. And my ancestors who coined this adage were sending a clear and powerful message to their descendants. And then it goes on, a people cannot flourish without their life-giving foundations in the past. So let's try to think about this. This cliche is stated that there is some element of truth, and the ancestors who originated this cliche, this adage, they were sending a clear and powerful message. So how is the message characterized? We can look at the answer choices to help us out, but again, stay away from extreme choices, and I'll just go through the list here. So in A, we have veiled criticism. Veiled is hidden criticism. Again, if you try to predict this, they were sending sort of like a clear and powerful message. They were giving sort of almost like a warning, not as strong as an admonition, but some type of like, just be careful, right? It is not hidden criticism, veiled criticism. That's out. Let's take a look at B. Well, B is the answer. I'm going to skip over it. Let's go to C. I'll put D and E, and I'll come back to the answer. All right. Here we have a questionable proposition. Now, a proposition, there's lots of words for a proposition. This is sort of like a supposition, a theory, it's a theorem, it's conjecture. Is this a hypothesis, and is it questionable? No, that's really not on point, and so that's out. How about D? A nostalgic recollection. Nostalgic, this is longing for the past. We've seen the word wistful, thinking fondly. There's nothing to do with that. Even though the ancestors are mentioned, this is not thinking fondly of the past. And then in E, optimistic prediction. A clear and powerful message. They are not being optimistic. They are sort of almost warning. And so that's not the answer. And the answer here is B. It's cautionary advice. They are giving this clear and powerful message to the descendants. People can't flourish without their life-giving foundations. It's sort of like a soft warning. And the answer here, it's cautionary advice. All right, the answer here is B. See you next time. Thanks for watching.